Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Anna. Today I'll be putting this quilt top and a quilt sandwich together. This is a simple name patch. I'll be giving it to a child, and I finished it about a month or two ago, but I just never got around to putting the sandwich together. So today I'm hoping to do that, and I hope you stay with me. Thank you. Here I'm ironing the backing of the quilt. It had quite a few wrinkles in it, so I just wanted to make it look a little better. It would be easier to put together. I'm measuring the batting here. It's a queen size batting, and the quilt is only 62 by 70, so it was a little bit of an effort to cut it to the right size and to have extra on the sides and top. Well, I managed to finally measure it all, and here I'm just cutting it to size. I added 3 inches top and bottom, and the same for the both sides. Well, I finally got everything all measured up, and here I'm putting the quilt sandwich together. Put the backing first with the right side down, and then the batting, and the top will go with the right side up. I'm positioning the quilt so that it'll be easier for me to spray it with an adhesive so that the 3 layers stay together. This is the way I like to do it. I like to do the adhesive, I like to spray with the adhesive first, and then if I need safety pins or anything else, I'll do that too. But this way it'll stay together for me while I quilt the top. Here I'm folding the top layer of the quilt and also the batting so that I could spray the backing of the quilt first. I know you're probably not supposed to do that. I think they tell you not to do that, but I've never had a problem just spraying the fabric. And then I'll layer the the batting over that and spray that, and then fold the top layer of the quilt over that, and I don't have to do it twice. So this is only half of the quilt. Then I'll go on to the other half of the quilt and do the same thing. I did need some safety pins on the edges because I didn't have enough spray actually to finish it really well, so I figured the safety pins would help it to stay together better. And also I tried to do the design on it by pencil first, then I took a white pencil but the white pencil broke, so I decided not to do any drawing on there, any markings. I didn't put any markings on there, so I think I will just put the markings as I go, which is what I decided to do. I'm marking the quilt here with a Clover chalk pen. It's really not a pen, it's just a little container that has chalk in it, loose chalk in it. And that's what I'm using here and the ruler, so that I could have straighter lines on the quilt as I go. So I finally finished quilting it, and here I'm just cutting the sides up, squaring it up with some rulers. And then I realized that I don't have a mat underneath, so it was just on the table, which I had to stop and put a mat under there and not ruin my blade. So all sides are squared up, hopefully, but now all there's left to do is try to choose a binding for the quilt, and this is my next task. Here I have a scrap bin with all scraps, and also I have some leftover bindings from other quilts that I have made, so I think I'll pick and choose from those and maybe combine some to make it look pretty. I kind of like that with different color bindings around the quilt. I think it looks really neat. So here I'm just showing you what I have here as a binding. It's a couple of colors, not too many colors, but I think it will look nice on the quilt. I'll be sewing the binding to the back of the quilt, and then once I'm done sewing it all around and attaching the binding together, I'll flip it over, I'll flip the binding over, and then just sewing that to the front of the quilt. It's so much easier that way. I find it so much easier that way. So this is what I'll be doing. Here I'm measuring the 1/4 inch where I'm going to get, well, I will be stopping and then cut the thread, and then I'll flip it over so that I could have 45-degree angle on the quilt. And at this point where I stop the machine here, I just turn it so that I will sew diagonally to the point. So I've stopped at the 1/4 mark that I had made, and I turn the quilt a little bit so that I can sew diagonally to the point of that corner. Then I flip the binding over at a 45-degree, and then I flip it again over that fold and sew from the top of the corner all the way down the next side of the quilt. Okay, this is where I'm attaching the two pieces of binding together, so to make it one whole cohesive binding. What I'm doing is I cut the blue part there 2.5 inches over the other part of the over the beige binding. And then what we do is you take the beige binding and you put it right side facing the right side of the blue, and you sew diagonally across the corner. It's hard to see here because my hand is in the way, and it's a little difficult to see, but that's the way it's done. And the 2.5 part comes in because that's how wide the binding was. That's how I cut the bind. See the diagonal right across there. I put the right pieces together, but in a perpendicular way, in a perpendicular right sides, and then you sew the diagonal from one corner to the next corner. I've completed sewing the binding to the back of the quilt, so now I am turning it over and I will be sewing it to the front of the quilt. I'll be trying to sew right at the edge of the binding so that it doesn't, so it's invisible in the back. But sometimes it doesn't work out that way, but I'm trying very hard to keep to the very edge of the binding and sewing it on that edge. When we come to the corners, you have to fold it in such a way that it's a mitered corner. And I'm sorry I didn't film it here on the video. My hand was in the way and it just couldn't even be seen. So I'm sorry about that, but that's the way it should look. Okay, this is what it looks like in the back. Most of it looks great, like this. And other parts don't look so well, but overall it turned out to be pretty nice looking in the back, so it was good. And here's the quilt. It's all completed. All I have to do is put a label on it and give it to the little boy I made it for. But before that, I'll probably put the label on, most likely I'll put the label on it first and then wash it. This way it's nice and clean when I gift it. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you next time.